Hello my dear students, I am Anita Sharma, a lecturer in English from Class 2 Nalanda Science College. So today we are going to just have a lesson. We are going to start a beautiful poem, an interesting poem, that is the Incat Rock. Okay. Here in this poem, the Incat Rock, from the word the Incat. Incat means what? The rock is associated with it. In this title you can see that the Inchcape rock, that means a rock is associated with this Inchcape. Inchcape means a rock with the inch, means the length of the rock is mentioned over here. The Inchcape rock written by Robert Southey. This poem, you can see this poem is a very narrative poem and it is also a deductive poem. Deductive poem means a poem with a moral teaching for the human beings. Okay. In this poem, if you go through this poem, you will find that there is some moral in this poem and it gives a moral lesson to the people. Okay. So it was written by Robert Southey. First of all, before going into this beautiful poem, I want to give you some information related to the poet. Let's have a look. Robert Southey, he was a great poet and he was born in 1774 and died in the year 1843. As you can see over here, I have mentioned it. Okay, 1774. He was born in 1774 and died in the year 1843. He was an English romantic poet. Romantic, the word we might have gone through this romantic word. So a poet is called to be romantic because the poet whoever writes about the realistic thing, about the surrounding, about the nature, they are called as romantic poet. And so as Robert Southey is also a romantic poet. And he was also a poet laureate, a prolific letter writer, essay writer and historian and biographer. So these are all about you. You only have to remember the poet's name, when he had taken birth and died, and with what are his qualities he is having. So these are the qualities he possesses and which I have narrated right now. So you have to remember those things. Then we will move on to the poem. Before moving on to the poem, let me inform you, as I told, it is a deductive poem. Deductive in the sense that it gives a moral teaching values to the human beings. And it is also a narrative long poem. In this poem, the poet explains that how the sin returns back to the sinner. The poet explains that if you do something wrong with other people, if you plan out to do something wrong with the other people, you may also be dragged by those things also. You may also fall in that, we can say you may also have to face the same situation. So here in this poem, the poet narrates how the sin comes back, return back to the sinner. Okay, it is a long narrative poem. So I have tried my best line by line, stanza wise, to go through it so that it will be helpful for you in the board exam to write the question answer. So let's have a look for the first stanza. I am going to explain you the first stanza of the poem. Let's have a look to that. So as far the first stanza is concerned, in this poem you will find that no stir in the air, no stir in the sea. In the first very beginning line of the poem, the poet says that no stir in the air. Stir means here no movement. Okay, there is a ship here in the sea, and there is a stir. Stir means no movement in the air and no stir in the sea. Means there is no movement in the sea also. Okay, it is in the constant. The position of the stream and the air is constant. There is no movement in them. The ship was still as she could be. In the next line, the poet says that the ship was still as she could be. Here the ship was narrated here. One ship is back in the sea, and though the ship is moving, but it was not up and down. Okay, the movement of the ship was not up and down. It is in a stable position. Though the ship is moving, but in a very slow way. That's why the poet is telling that the ship was still as she could be. The poet is saying that the ship was still, means in a constant position the ship was. She could be here. The poet is referring ship as the sea, giving the female characteristic to the ship. Why? Because as you know that as a mother, when she was taking birth to the children and keeping the child in her womb. And the mother keeps the child in her womb. So as here the poet refers the sea as a female character, and so the poet says that the ship is also taking a lot of people in her. Okay, in her a lot of people were carried in the ship, as if the mother carries the child in her womb. That's why the poet had given the ship the female characteristic. The ship was still as she could be. Here the poet is saying that the ship was still in the motionless position, in a constant position as she could be. In a still position the ship was there in the sea. Now we will move on to the next line. Has sails from the heaven received no motion. Thereafter the poet is saying that a sail from the ocean received no motion. Has sailed. Sail means the ship was there constantly. Sail means where you might have seen, observed that the ship had in the ship you will find that a piece of cloth was attached to it, and the cloth is when the wind blows, the cloth also moves on. Okay, it flows in the wind. Has sailed from the heaven received no motion. Has sailed from the heaven. Here heaven means sky. From the sky also the ship was not getting any support of the air to move on. And the ship was moving. No doubt the ship was in a moving position, but it was moving very slowly, and the passenger inside it could not feel it also. Still the ship was moving on. Hercule was study in the ocean. Hercule was study in the ocean. That means the bottom part of the, as I mentioned over here in the meaning also, bottom part of the ship. You might have seen the bottom part of the ship. It was known as keel. Hercule was also not getting any support to move on. The Hercule was study in the ocean. Study means in a constant position. The keel was also there. The flat portion, the flat part of the ship is called, the bottom part of the ship is called keel. The keel is also in a steady position. So in the very beginning paragraph, we come to know that from the first stanza that here the poet is explaining what is the position of the ship in the sea. Okay, and here we can see that it is all are in a motionless position. The ship, though it is moving, still it is not in a rapid way. It is very slowly moving. Okay. So in the very beginning paragraph, I hope I have made it clear that the poet is expressing how the ship is in the sea, is in a steady position, and the ship is not getting any support from the air or wind to move on. So let's move on to the next paragraph. Next stanza. Without either sign or sound of their shock. Without either sign or sound of their shock. That means there is no sign or any, we can say that there is no sign or warning, or we can say any support of their shock. S-H-O-C-K. Shock means here, sugar. Sorry, it is sugar. Shock means here it was not getting any support from anywhere to move. The waves flowed over the incapped rock. So here waves are flowing over the incapped rocks. Because the rocks were there. As I told you, what is the incapped rock? The incapped rock means the tremendous or dangerous rock. You might have seen inside the sea there is a rock called as an incapped rock. Those rocks are very dangerous. It's called as a tremendous rocks. Why those rocks are considered dangerous? Because dear ones, whenever there is a high tides were there, waves are flowing over those rocks, and it is invisible for the it is invisible to the sailors. They could not see that there is an dangerous tremendous incapped rock, and sometimes it happens so that the ship met with an accident with the top of the incapped rock. That's why they are called a dangerous rock. Whenever the sea tides are very high, they flow over the incapped rock and it made it invisible. And whenever it is visible from a long distance, the sailor might notice it that yes, there is a dangerous rock, incapped rock. They may avoid and change the direction. But whenever sea tides are very high, it flows over the incapped rock, make it invisible. As a result of which the ship dashes, or we can say the ship met with an accident with the top of the incapped rock. The waves flowed over the incapped rock. So little they rose, so little they fall. Here the poet says that the incapped rocks are here the poet says that so little they rose, so little they fall. So little they rose means the waves are rising and falling down. They did not move the incapped rock. Still the waves cannot move the in-shape rock. They won't have that much strength to move on the in-shape rock. The in-shape rock is constant, still in its position. Okay. In the second paragraph, I will make it clear in the second stanza that what is the position of the in-shape rock and how the tides waves are moving on it. Okay. How it floats over the in-shape rock. Now we will move on to the third stanza. In the third stanza, it is very interesting dear, and the main character about which the whole poem is based on. The whole poem is in the ballad form. There is a small story inside this poem. As you know, the ballad means the poem written in the form of a poem written in the form of a story. It's called a ballad. So this poem is also written the story written in the form of a poem. This poem is also a small story is there inside this poem, which we will come to know about it. In the third stanza, you will come about Abotag. Abotag is a character mentioned in this poem. Okay. Abotag. Abot means is the name of a person and he is a saint. And he belongs to Abotag. It's a village name, is the name of a place where he belongs to. Had placed the bell on the in-capped rock. So Abotag, though he is a saint, he felt that so many sailors are coming with their passenger, and the ships and the boats, they are going to meet with an accident with this in-shape rock, because the in-shape rock are not at all visible when there is a storm or when the tidal waves are in high. So that's why he thought that why should not I hang a bell upon the in-capped rock, so that it will works as does the work of a warning bell. Whenever the sailor comes to hear about the warning bell, they may able to move the direction of the ship, and the lives of the passenger could be saved. That's why the Abotag. The Abot is the name of a person, and he is a saint, and he belongs to the place Abotag. He thought that to save the life of the people, to save the life of the passenger in the ship, he just hang a bell over the in-shape rock. Had placed that bell on the in-shape rock. That's why he hung a bell over the in-shape rock. On the way in the storm, it floated and swam. On the way, B-U-O-Y. Buoy means here I mentioned a floating object on the sea to mark the dangerous place. Okay, buoy means just a floating object which is floating over on the sea to mark a dangerous place. From a long distance, the sailors, mariners who are coming on the way in the sea, in the ship, they can, from a long distance, they can come to know that yes, there is a dangerous rock by looking at the buoy. Buoy means a floating object, that is the bell. Okay, when it's ring, a floating object on the sea to mark a dangerous place, they will come to know that yes, there is some danger, and they will be able to move the ship in other direction. And in this way, the lives of the passenger could be saved. And over the waves, it's warning song. And over the waves, it's warning run. That means here the poet says that whenever the in-capped rock is there and upon it the bell is there, whenever the bell rings, then it works as a warning bell for the mariner and the passengers, and then the ship will move on to other direction. And this way the lives of the passenger could be saved. Whenever it runs, it works as a warning bell. I hope up to here it is clear. Okay students, let's move on to the next stanza. In the next stanza, it is mentioned about that when the rock was hit by the swell. When the rock was hit by the swell. Okay, whenever the rock, the in-shaped rock was hit, means it was hidden by the, hidden by the swell. Swell means here, swell means rise of the tidal waves. Whenever the rock, in-shaped rock was hidden by the waves, tidal waves, then the mariner heard the warning bell. Whenever the rock, the in-shaped rock was hidden by the rise of the swell means the tidal waves, at that time the mariner, they could hear the in-shaped bell. They could hear the warning bell which was tied by the Abotag. They knew the warning bell. They could hear the warning bell. It is ringing over there, and then they knew the precarious rocks and blessed the Abotag. Then they come to know about the perilous or the dangerous rock, Incan rock, after hearing the warning bell from a long distance, and they used to thank the abbot of Alberta for being so helpful, so kindful to them to save their life. And they used to thank abbot of Alberta a lot, and they used to move their ship in other direction and save the life of the passengers. So here we could see that how a saint was able to save the life of the passenger with his own interest, with his own how he saved the life of the people after tying the bell, warning bell. He is such a nice person. He thought about others. That's why he could save the life of the people. Now next we will move on to the another part. Okay, we have to move on to the another stanza. The sun in heaven was shining gay. You could see that in this line the poet is writing, the sun in heaven was shining gay. That means the poet was that everything was okay, everything was good enough. Though the saint, that is the abbot of Abatha, had hung the bell, the life of the people could be saved because it works as a warning bell. But after so long time, what happened one day? The sun in heaven was shining gay. All things were joyful on that day. One day everything was very joyful. The sun was shining over there in the sky. The seabirds screamed as they wheeled round. The seabirds screamed as they wheeled round. That means the seabirds were there, they are screaming. They are creating some noiseful sound in a joyful manner. As they wheeled round means in a circular manner, they are flying over there in the sky. And there was joy in their sound, and there was some joy, happiness in the sound. That means the atmosphere was very beautiful one day. Next stanza, move on to the next stanza. The buoy of the ancient bell was seen. At that time, the buoy means a floating object over there in the sea could be seen. A darker patch on the ocean green. A darker patch on the ocean green means a dark colored bell was there. A darker patch means an object was there which could be seen from a long distance. Sir Ralph the robber walked his deck. At that time, Sir Ralph is the name of the Sir Ralph is the name of a robber, sea robber. Okay, he was a sea robber, and he used to rob the people, the passenger in the ship. He used to kill and take their blood. He used to take all the properties, money, whatever they possess, by killing them, by murdering them. So he was a sea robber. His name is Sir Ralph. Sir Ralph the robber walked his deck. One day he was walking over his deck. The atmosphere was very beautiful. The birds are singing. It was the spring season. Everything was beautiful over there. And he fixed his eyes on the darker speck. When Sir Ralph was wandering on his ship, on the deck of the ship, once at a time, he just have a look on the darker speck. Darker speck means a floating object over there in the sea. He had focused on the darker speck, and he thought that what is the object that is floating on the sea. He felt the cheering power of the spring. He was feeling the cheering power of the spring. Here, the poet says that Sir Ralph, the robber, was so powerful. He had all the powers. He was feeling as if he was the most powerful person in the world. He was the most dominating, powerful person in the world, and he thought that he can plunder any person, and he can be the richest person in the world. And that's why he was robbing the people in the sea. He was a sea robber. It made him whistle, it made him sing. Though it was very beautiful atmosphere, it was spring season, it made Sir Robber to sing and whistle. His heart was meaningful to access. His heart was meaningful to access. That means, here in the meaning, you can see that meaningful means delight. His heart was meaningful with access. Means a lot of delightfulness there in his heart. Okay, meat means delight. But the robber's meat was wickedness. That means the happiness which is there in a heart was full of, we can say, wrong. He was doing something wrong with the people. He was just praying something bad, or we can say he wants to plunder. He wants to kill the people. That's why his happiness was not a sort of does not carry any good thing or good qualities. It was full of bad qualities. Whatever he wants to feel in his heart. I can say that once again I am going to last two lines. His heart was made full to excess. Though it was a very beautiful atmosphere, his heart was full of happiness. He was singing and whistling over there in the deck. But the robber means was wickedness. That means his happiness had some wrong doing. Means his happiness was having a lot, possess a lot of sin. Okay, you want to do something sinner work which is full of sin. It should not be done. So why he was happy? Because he was always robbing the people while they are when the ship of the passenger, or we can say the ship of the sailor or mariner, it dashes or met with an accident with that intact rock. When the ship met with an accident with that of the intact rock, the robber used to go to that ship and plunder and robbed all the people. That's why he was happy when he finds that the people are dying after being dashed or after being met with an accident with the intact rock. Okay, students, let's go for the next stanza. His eyes was on the intact float. What for he? My man put out the boat. So his eyes, when his eyes fall upon the intact bell, he became very angry. As you know that he knows that if once the warning bell rang, then it works as a warning to the mariner or the sailor, and they will move the ship in another direction. As a result of which the passenger will not die and the robber will not be able to plunder the people. He will not be able to rob the people. That's why he was very angry, and that's why he asked his sailor to move his ship towards the intact bell. Quatho he means he said, my man, put out the boat. Put out the boat means ride the boat towards the intact bell and row me to the intact rock and take me nearby the intact rock where the bell was hanging. And I will plug the abort of abortok, and I will plug the abort of abortok. I will take out the bell of the abort of abortok. I will plug it out. I will take it out the bell of abort of abortok. That's why he asked his sailor to move the ship towards the intact bell. Okay. Okay, students. Today I am just leaving right now up to here. Coming class, we will continue with the poem. Thanks for the class today. Thank you.